I'm Crystal Jordan with BecomingHER magazine. I'm the co-founder.
And I'm Jasmine Hawkins, the co-founder of BecomingHER magazine. And today we have Lena Jenkins-Smith. How are you doing today?
How are you doing?
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
No, thank you for having us.
You guys, this has been an amazing day. And we want to say thank you so much, Lena, for fulfilling a dream that one Crystal had and a dream that I didn't even know I had.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're welcome.
So let's get started. Tell us your story.
Oh wow, just like that.
Like that.
Okay.
Straight no chaser.
Well, straight no chaser. Okay. So I am an executive producer and a showrunner, and it's not like that was a dream that I had my entire life. So I think it's kind of interesting how I got into it. I always wanted to be a school teacher, and I did that. I was a school teacher. I taught first and second grade split, and I taught middle school, and I taught fifth grade. Wow. So that's really that was like my big accomplishment. Like, I really want to be a school teacher, and I did that. And then, I kind of met a guy named Cat Williams, and he decided that, I should be in entertainment. So I became a personal assistant, and it was amazing. Like, it was really good. I got a chance to do a lot of stuff. Like, I think I met Tracy Morgan on my second day working.
Wow.
It was pretty cool. Like, I started, to do a lot of things in entertainment. But more importantly, I just always wanted to do something that my kids would be proud of. Like, they could say, at school, show and tell, my mom does this, and I wanted it to be that big thing. I had no idea really that I was going to be a producer. I didn't know that I liked it that much. But what I did realize was that this is what I wanted to do. And I said, I like being behind the scenes. I like the fact that you guys got me doing an interview is wild. But yeah, because I actually like, being behind the scenes, and anywhere from the camera on back, that's my world, that's my territory. But I enjoy what I do, and I meet a lot of amazing people, and I get to do a lot of cool things, and I say that that's my job. I love my job.
Like, it's so cool that you said that you were a teacher and then you just met Cat Williams. Like,
yeah.
Who says that? Who gets to say that?
It's literally how it happened. Yeah, at the Laugh Factory, one of my favorite places. I used to always go there because my uncle was friends with Jamie Masada, who was the owner of the Laugh Factory, and he would always get tickets. And I'd go to Chocolate Sundays. Shout out to Pookie Wigington. I always went to Chocolate Sundays, and that was my release. I didn't really go out a lot. I didn't drink, don't smoke, none of that. So that was my outing. Like, every week I'd go and go to these, go to the comedy show and watch comedians, and I'd take my friends. And that particular day, none of my friends showed up. And I was like, I should not have gone by myself, but it was a reason. Like, it was meant. I had one friend, she was having issues with her boyfriend. She didn't want to go. And, another friend of mine was pregnant, and she faked going into labor. She didn't want to go. Yeah, she probably
That's a story in itself.
Right.
She faked going to
She
labor.
faked going into labor. I'm like, are you having the baby or not? But anyway, yeah. So, and then I had another friend that just got sick, and I said, you know what? I'm still gonna go because I think the lineup is pretty cool. And I got there, and that's where I met him. He said, you don't know who I am, do you? I'm like, no idea. And everybody knew that's Money Mike. I didn't know. But yeah, so that's how it started for me. And literally the next day I started working for him. It literally happened like that. He's like, I want to see what you can do. I'm multitasking, drawing things on napkins. That's when they had Blackberries were very, very popular.
Yeah.
So I was working on my Blackberry, and it was a pretty cool story. Yeah. So and I had to snitch on a couple girls because they were going through his phone trying to get Ludacris phone number. Yeah, it was really crazy.
Wow.
It was really crazy. He's like, you told them those girls, you don't even know them. Like, you don't know who they are. And I said, well, they were going through your phone. So,
So did you stop being a teacher?
See, and the crazy part is I started working for him, and for almost a year, I still kept teaching.
Wow.
Tired as I don't know what. Like, I was teaching during the day, working, we were doing the Tracy Morgan show at night, and doing, he was still on the road, and so it was wild. But he said, well, when you're ready to get a real salary, then I guess, you'll stop teaching. And that's how it happened. I wanted to finish out the school year with the kids because I had promised them some stuff for graduation. education. And, I wanted to uphold my commitment because, that's like education is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I have 3 degrees, so I consistently stay in school. And I don't think you should ever be the smartest person in the room. Like, I don't think you should ever feel you know so much that you don't have to keep freshening up your skills and keep reinventing yourself and keep, just educating yourself. And that's a big thing for me. And I instill that into my kids and to my granddaughter. Like, you have to be smart. I'm sorry. Like, and if not, you have to try hard.
Right.
Get all of the education you can get, especially that is free. So that was very important to me, and I wanted the kids to understand, like, I wasn't going to leave them in the middle of the school year, that I was going to make sure I finished it out. But it was a lot of sleepless nights, but it was fun too. Like, I felt like then, I think now I'm in the prime of my life, but then I really felt like I was in the prime. So I had energy. I was passionate about everything, and I think that kind of just gave me the motivation I needed to stick through it.
Can you share any specific moments in your career where you realized the importance of self-acceptance and embracing your unique qualities as part of becoming her?
Now is one of those moments, because honestly, I felt like what we were able to pull together with this magazine, and just for me to bring people that I thought were super cool and people that are in, women, Black women in the entertainment industry, Black women, in production, I thought that's a big deal for me, and I felt I was becoming her, and I am her, okay. So, I feel being Emmy-nominated, that was very, very big for me. And it's like, even though you didn't win, just kind of going through the process and just to know that you could be a part of something that is, that big and that will be accredited and that people think like, this is monumental. That was a becoming her moment. I think the moment I went independent, where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not really gonna be on anybody's payroll anymore. I'm going to be independent. That was a pivotal moment for me, and I really felt like I was becoming her. Being a mom, like every time, I have 3 kids, so every moment, when my child is born, I felt, I'm becoming her, and I didn't, and it doesn't always mean, in my opinion, doesn't always mean that you have it all figured out and you have it all together, but your self-awareness is very important, and you coming into who you are. And for everyone, it happens at different ages. For me, it consistently happens, because there are always those moments that, in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, now I'm in my 40s, it's like you have those moments where you feel, I'm more aware than I was before, and I have a better understanding of who I am. And I think I can't expect anybody to understand me until I understand me. And those moments consistently happen in those, basically in those marks in my life where I felt that graduating from high school, like that was a big deal for me, graduating from college 3 times. Like that's, those things are big deals. Getting an office space, like, having those things, like my first LLC, I was like, oh my God.
I remember that moment for me too.
I filled out the paperwork, guys. It's like, dude, that's not hard. But okay, but those are moments, and it really felt official. Creating my first piece of content, filming my first movie, filming my first TV series, like all of those things, my first comedy special, like all of those things became moments where I felt that. And I hope that I have more of those moments, because they're, it's a good thing to share those and to experience those with others, but to realize for yourself, like, okay, I just might be her. That's a big deal
you are
for
her.
Me. Well, thank you.
You are her. You're that producer. You're that executive producer.
Yes.
Put the executive
In front of that, right?
Because you're right about that. And make no mistake, executive producing, for those that do it right, is still producing, because you're still doing the work. I have no problem. I'm not too big for doing whatever it takes. If I got to send out call sheets, I sent your call sheets today. Right. So if I have to do whatever I have to do that's in the production realm, I'm not too big for that, because I can't expect anybody else to do it if I won't do it. Or if I don't know the job, then how am I really at the top as an executive producer if I can't tell those that, that are coming along through our company and coming along through our production, how to do their job if I don't know how to do it. So that's, it is actually like, I'm not just the person that pays for stuff most of the time. Like I'm the one that's actually, getting my hands dirty. And for me, that keeps me grounded because, I've done some very, very big things in my life. And, I've worked with very big budgets, and I feel just kind of even being to humble yourself on an independent level, that's a big deal. And that's kind of like the world that I'm in. It's like, the more I think I'm up here, the more it's like, yeah, but you still got to do this. Okay. So,
right.
And it kind of balances out. So I'm okay with that. I love it.
So my next question is, how has God played a role in your life in your Becoming Her season?
Well, God is within me, so He is the reason for the season. Like, everything is because of Him, and that's how I try to operate. I operate with a measure of humility. I operate with a measure of understanding. I operate with a measure of graciousness, because I think it's important that you treat people how you want to be treated. And in my business, and on my productions, in my dealings, just in my regular dealings with my family, like, I have a lot of passion and love and emotion, and that is all because of God. I can't see that what would life be without Him, And so it becomes where I'm happy all the time, like I'm smiling all the time. I want to be the light in the room. That is because of God. That is it is through me, And I also, that's something that was very instilled in me at a young age. My mom I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so my mom is and was then like very adamant about being kind to others, being careful how you treat people, and what goes around comes around, like all of the rules, all of the cliches, like that is the motto that I grew up with. And so it just, I had at a very young age, I just saw a lot of giving, and a lot of like, we're gonna do things and togetherness and community and family, and that was important for me because I operate now and it's like people like don't want to be bothered half the time now. And I think, wow, like I just remember always doing things like just being together and picnics and parties and and a lot of people say, well, did you miss out on things growing up Jehovah's Witness? And I say, well, no, because we just did it either the day before or the day after. Like it wasn't about the day,
right.
It was about the thing, and it's about togetherness and just family and friends. Like I grew up with a lot of people around me that no matter who wasn't there, I never felt like I was lacking. Like I never felt like I missed out because I always had a lot of love around me. I think that's important. And those people that I was around are very God-fearing. So that was kind of like injected in me, from a very, very young age.
It's crazy that you say that, because I was actually raised a Jehovah's Witness too.
See, I knew we love it. I knew we linked. He's a JW kid. I already knew. Look at my mom over there smiling. See, I already knew. Look. See.
But
yes.
But you are right. Like they do come together. When my mom lost her husband, I saw how they rallied around my mom, and I hadn't seen anything like that before. And it was like it was a blessing because my mom really needed the help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and you do always be smiling. I don't think I've ever
smiling.
not seen her.
Is there ever time you're not? You're not going to see it. But yeah, I am. And I'm genuinely a happy person. That's the thing. Like, it's not a front. It's not, I feel like I'm being poured into when I pour into others. Like I don't feel right if I'm not doing something for someone, if I'm not sharing something, if I'm not,
You always serving.
Yeah. Like, and I just came to the acceptance, like that is my calling. Like that is what I'm supposed to do, no matter what level it's on. I'm always supposed to give back because that is your full circle of life. That is, that's how you get your blessings. And not that you do something to get blessings, but I legitimately feel good. Like I feel empty if I'm doing something for myself. It's kind of weird. It's like, hey man, like
you feel guilty when you do.
Yeah, absolutely, all the time. Like I try to be as selfless as possible, but then I'm starting to learn now that like there are moments where you have to take care of self first. As they tell you, put your mask on first, before you can help anyone else. And I'm starting to realize, but I didn't realize that till like last year. That, like
So you
I'm
just coming into
depleted,
that
right?
era.
And it's like, okay, I'm giving back, but you can only give you can only give what you have.
Right.
You can only give back so much. And if you're not, if it's not being reciprocated to where it's good, because you're not going to always get it back from the people you give it to. And so if it doesn't, if you don't start to do that for yourself, it's no telling when you'll get that back. And if you're doing things just for that to happen, you could be waiting forever. So it took me, like I said, till last year to realize when I feel burnt out or when I feel, like I'm losing energy or I'm losing whatever it is, I didn't have to do that for myself because that's important. And if I can't give anybody else anything too. So it's a balance. I still haven't mastered it yet, but I'm starting to learn that self-care is important. Mental health is important. Just making sure that you're doing things that's right for your body, doing things that's right for your mind and your soul and your spirit. That's important now. And it took me a while to learn it, but not too
you're
late.
here.
But did I die though?
Right.
No, you did not.
Right.
You're being God is using you as a vessel to bless others. And even if that person don't receive it, you still did what you're supposed to do in that moment.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yes.
And that's why you're getting blessed because you're being obedient.
See? And I used to hate that word when I was little. You're not obedient. First of all, I can't even spell that word. But I can now after 3 degrees. But yeah. But yes, it's definitely when you listen and when you, like you said, become a vessel, then things work out right for you. And fighting again, I fought against it for a little while. And I was like, I don't want to do all these things for people and I'm tired, I don't feel like it. But something in me was like, but you got to do it anyway.
Right.
And you got to do it with a smile and you got to be happy about doing it. And just having that in me, I think it's helped me a lot.
I feel that when you start listening to God and stop trying to push back, I'm in that season of not trying to push back when he's talking to me and be still and listen to him and do what he wants, then your life go a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
You're going to have some hurdles, but long you lean on God, that's all that matters.
Yes, and you and I had that conversation before. We talked about that we're in the season of our life because you said that to me before. You said I'm in the season where I'm listening. And I'm learning. Last year, this time, I would not be nothing you say would matter. But but this time, and I think doing things for others, as you guys are doing things for others, and you're providing a platform, and you're providing opportunities, and you're providing experiences. That is giving back. And the fact that you guys are doing that now it's a big deal, and you're
so much.
like, even with the younger people we had on the platform, they're just like, oh my God, I love them. And I was like, I'm not gonna have you guys around people that aren't great people. Like, why would I do that? Trap you in a room for an hour for, but I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, I think that's also a big deal. And and like you said, that's growth. Learning and knowing that I have to tune in to what I'm being told and I have to actually do it, that's a big deal.
Doing the work is the hard part. When she get on me, she gets on my nerves by like, okay, it's something she said, let me. Having a business partner is hard.
It is.
It is
my
hard.
business partner, we're not gonna say nothing because they on the set. So I can't say the extent of what things I'm come on.
Having a business partner is hard.
I'm
When
gonna
she get on me, I'm
I'm
telling
keep
you.
it nice. But yeah,
It is
we
hard.
all need those people that get on us because that's how you learn to become your better self.
Yep.
And you have those people that they care about where you go, what path you're on. If you're on the wrong path, you need somebody to pull you back. And it needs to be vice versa. And that's the thing, like, I love your business partnership. I see it. And I see where one lacks, the other one picks it up, where one shine. Like, it's a very good balance. And my business partnership is the same way. It's a very good balance because there are all things that we're good at, and then there's just some things like, I'll suck at that. Like, I'm never gonna do that right. So don't even ask me. It's like your kids. You learn what they're best at. And yes, you encourage them to do things that are better, but you give them those tasks that you know they're good at so they can, that builds self-esteem. That builds like, I know what you're good at, so I'm not gonna put you over here where you're not good. Why would I do that? But I'm going to give you something that's a challenge, but I'm also gonna let you foster yourself, foster within those areas that you're good at. And I think that's a good deal. So we're loving it.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are
learning.
learning.
And who wants to get popped by God? I don't like getting popped by him because he be popping the mess out of me.
I don't get right, and it's like it's nothing. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
Like,
Learn
ooh,
my
I messed
lesson
up.
today.
Right.
Absolutely.
So as you continue to evolve and grow, what aspects of your craft do you feel most passionate about developing and mastering?
I think I'm very tunnel visioned, right? So I would say that I'm definitely a workaholic. I definitely put that in front of a lot of things, and I would love to learn basically like work and home life balance. I have not mastered that at all. I would love to kind of open up some of my blinders some, because when I'm focused on something, there's really nothing anybody but my kids. They're the only people that can get me to stop and focus on what it is they want. Like nobody else can really, well, we need you to do, no. So I want to learn to open up a little more and kind of be a little more receptive. I do think that probably would help me grow. What it would do is it would have me doing business with more people than I do. I keep a very tight circle. I keep a very tight circle, and I always quote Nipsey Hussle and say, circle getting smaller, everybody can't go. And that's just the truth, right? So I don't like to do a lot of things with a lot of people. I like to do a lot of things with a few people because I'm loyal. And it's like, I just like these people and I always want to do, but you do, as business grows and as opportunities grow, you have to open up those opportunities to others, right? So it means becoming more trusting, which is very hard for me to trust certain people. And I do think, that may help kind of things grow faster, because I'm clearly okay with like, no, that's it. This is all I want to do. If this is all that this group can do, that's all I want to do then. Well, you can't live your entire life like that. So I think that's one of the areas that I really, I think growth is important for that, for myself.
My final question is, how has your journey as executive producer shaped who you, the woman you are becoming today?
It has definitely been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's been hard because I told you before, like, I'm a very emotional person. I get that from my mom. She cries at everything, whether she's happy, sad, excited, sleepy, whatever. It's like, tear, like I see the tears and it's like, but that's the amount of like love just swells up out of us. So like I think this journey and the challenges it's brought, because I'm doing a lot like on my own. I'm doing a lot by myself. And I was telling somebody earlier today, I'm like, I was used to the check. Like, I'm used to depending on others. I work super, super hard for what I get, but I know that's guaranteed. And so the first time that I stepped down on faith was hard, because it was like, there's no safety net now. Like, yeah, you got friends you can call and like, but who, why would you live your life like that? Like, be a businesswoman, get up and do what you have to do. And I think that right there was key in me just kind of, I don't know, like I grew up. I was very immature at the age that I was. And I was so used to operating in the hamster wheel, just repetitive. Everything was on this repetitive cycle. Like, I'm just gonna do this every day. I'm gonna do this every day. Get my check, go to work, do this, get every day. And I'm like, until I started to realize that is how people then help build others' empires. And if you die tomorrow, what does your family have?
Nothing.
And so it's those moments that I'm like, you know what? I loved what I did. Like, I don't regret anything that I did or any path, but this particular path has taken me on a direction where I'm seeing a lot clearer now, and I see possibilities that I never saw before. Like, I'm seeing myself walk into doors right now that I'm like, wow, how did I get here? Like, this is crazy. And I'm talking to like people that, that I help, that I mentor, and they're like, Miss Lena, you're doing it. And I was like, and it's just happening so fast that I'm not realizing. Like, I'm saying, I just, my company was I already partnered with Goldstrandmedia. I1 Productions and Goldstrandmedia has already partnered. We've already done successful productions together. I would have been happy with just that. Now we've partnered with Man Robinson Studios, and it's like, and now, you know, we've got things coming up with BET and, you know, Disney, and it's a big deal now. Yeah. And so I'm like, wow. And people told me that I couldn't do this independently. They said, if you go independent, you're not gonna be able to get into all those doors of the majors. Are you crazy?
And now look
and
at
now
you.
I have meetings on the books, and I'm like,
and you're proving them wrong,
right?
Because God said you was ordained to do it.
Period.
See, and it's happening in a way that I don't have to owe anybody, or I don't have to, you know, like everything. Yes, I'm grateful for everything that everyone has done for me, and I'm sure had they had the opportunity, they would do something to put me, you know, on that path. But to say, yeah, no, I made those calls, and I stayed up late that night, and I, you know, learned how to do all these things. Like, I, you know, just for that, I think that's a big deal for me, because I would have stayed in the lowest of the service worlds my entire life. Like, I was a receptionist. Like, you know, I haven't done that forever. Why? Because I like seeing people when they walk in the room and smiling at them and, what do you need? Let me get you, you need 50 copies right away. I'd have done that forever. But I knew that my reach had to be bigger than that. I knew that I wake up in the middle of the night like, oh my God, I just thought of a show. And I write it down. And oh my God, I just thought of a great idea for a commercial. And like, this happens to me over and over again. I'm like, why would I be forced with all of this stuff in my brain if I wasn't supposed to do anything about it? You know? And I think that realization is what gave me the ultimate Becoming Her moment. The fact that I am blessed with the creativity that I have, and now I have an outlet and a platform to put it out. You can't ask for more than that.
Wow.
I love that.
Well, Lena, thank you so much for sitting down with us and talking with us. It's been a pleasure. And
yes, it's been a pleasure and a blessing.
Yes.
We want to give you your flowers while you're here. We are very big at giving women their flowers and people their flowers while they're alive, because a lot of people look at Nipsey Hussle. You brought him up, right?
Yeah, my cousin.
A lot of people started giving his flowers when he was not even here to accept it.
Correct.
Right.
And be a part of those moments. And in this moment, I'm Crystal Jordan, and
I'm Jasmine Hawkins.
And she want to give, we both together want to give you your flowers.
Because you deserve it.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank you.
And it's real flowers.
Not any kind of purpose. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And these are your flowers. Real flowers.
They are real. I just smelled them. They smell so good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're so welcome.
Tiny Jewels made you and your granddaughter matching bracelets.
And, yep, see?
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, and
okay,
ours
I'm going
connect.
on now. Oh, that's so cute. Like besties. I'm gonna put mine and hers on right now, because I'll give hers to her later. She went home already, but oh my God, this is so nice. Look at that.
You're welcome.
These are beautiful.
And she's a 12-year-old
Yep, she's 12
designer.
Yeah, she's my daughter.
12.
Yep.
See, Becoming Her.
Yep.
12 years. Oh, tell her these are amazing. I absolutely love them. I'm gonna do a little social media spot for her.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
I love it. This is and that's the type of talent, you know, that should not get wasted. That is it. She's developing. Keep fostering that. I love it.
Yeah, they're her brand managers.
That part, see,
Right.
and she got the right ones, because y'all be at everything, doing everything. So
And we stay shooting her out. Right? Look like,
I
look,
love it.
Tiny
Oh, it looks
Jewels.
good. She does a very good job. Even
The details.
they're very balanced and
You
placed
can't even tell
well.
a 12-year-old made this.
I would not have ever guessed it unless you told me.
Nobody would ever guess it. Yep. And she made ours connect. I said it's funny.
Tell her she made it to TV.
Right.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh,